history, our heritage. It's important. We all want to know from whence we came, and if anything, you have to worry about. So when we see these flashy commercials from websites offering us to look into our past, we may want to jump on it. Or do we? Could there be more at stake than we think? There is some fine print on everything, including these types of sites. Do you really want to read it? No, but you should. Dane Heptner, one of our lawyers for Ask a Lawyer, is here today. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, Russ.
Everybody's here at 9:30. Answer your questions for free. Just want to say that. So again, thank you as always for coming to do it. You've been giving me a little bit of a of a 101 on this. I didn't know that when you're doing some of these ancestry history things, you actually send a swab of your DNA.
Right, a little cotton swab. You send it in, ship it off, and they kind of take the DNA, evaluate it, and the goal, what you're signing up for, is to see, maybe where my family genealogy comes from. Am I Irish? Am I Scottish? Something like that. But what you don't realize you're doing is, it's kind of like when you download new stuff on your phone, and they're like, do you accept the terms? And you're like, I accept it.
Why not?
You do the same thing with Ancestry.com. And so what you don't realize is you're kind of signing up for some other stuff that maybe you weren't aware of.
So they've got this swab of your DNA, and I guess the question becomes then, what can it be used for?
Sure.
Like what?
So Ancestry.com, 23andMe, they have the ability to sell your information, your DNA makeup, your profile, to insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, people who want that big database of information to determine, well, maybe this population is predisposed to Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and so we're going to target them. Or maybe this particular person is predisposed to cancer, and so we're going to raise their rates because we think it's likely we're going to have to pay for cancer treatments for them down the road. Stuff like that. So that's how it gets sold to third parties.
And you were even telling me that law enforcement has even used this.
That's right. So all across the country, DNA has kind of developed and taken enormous strides over the past several years. And so a lot of folks are opening up these cold cases where maybe they weren't too sure of the conviction, and they'll have this DNA profile that's associated with the crime. They'll send that off to Ancestry.com or 23andMe or whomever, and they'll say, here's the DNA profile. We want to know if you have a match. And so they'll run it through, or they'll even do something called familial matching, where they'll say, it's not an exact profile, but we found this guy who's pretty close, so maybe one of his relatives matches the profile we have. And so they'll go ask that person for their DNA to see if they have an exact match and match it up.
Can you protect yourself from this happening?
Well, you can by not participating in it, but maybe you're in my situation where, like my Uncle Tom, really big into the Ancestry.com thing, has traced their genealogy decades, centuries back. And so if they wanted to do like a familial match and match up my DNA and say, oh, Dane Heptner's family looks like it might match with this crime that we have that was committed back in 10 years ago, and Dane matches the profile. So how do I protect myself from that situation? The law enforcement has to go get a warrant first, so they have to show probable cause to get my DNA. And then B, if that DNA profile that was controlled by Ancestry.com, if they need that to convict me, that's probably not going to work for them, because there's this thing called chain of custody where they have to account for where has this DNA been, and has it been tampered with, or has something kind of made its way into the DNA profile that shouldn't be there. And so normally it's in the police department, you have a records custodian there keeping track of it. Ancestry.com probably doesn't have that person, so it probably wouldn't even make its way into court.
So if a Dane Heptner finds himself in a situation like this, a Dane Heptner hires a Dane Heptner lawyer, that's got to take care of.
Yeah, Dane Heptner, all of the
all the Heptners are involved in this.
That's right.
Hey, good to see you. Thank you. Lawyers are here until 9:30. Give them a call. Hey, Charlie.
Good day to you, Russell. I'm Rustic Keel Creek.